Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Podcast, an initiative by Rotaract Club of Linktown Airoli in collaboration with Team PR and Marketing. I, Rotaractor Aniket, will be hosting this podcast along with my buddy director, Rotaractor Sanika.
So basically, when we read a lot about mental health, there was a basic definition that we found out. It says mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. This was a typical definition that we found out, but we want you guys to give your views of how you feel what is mental health.
All right, so as we talk about our opinions on mental health, I would request all the members present in the podcast to speak their names out. For instance, I am Rotaractor Aniket Bachas, and I stand here stating my view that mental health is an important topic which we have been neglecting for a long time. I personally have been, but I believe it is something that we should look after in the coming times. So over to anybody who's ready to share their views about.
Yes, Lord. And I think that people really neglect their mental health for a reason maybe. They think like if physical health really matters for sure. They really neglect, right? So that's the thing that shouldn't happen right now.
Hello. Hello, am I audible, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
My name is Rotaractor Sudarshan Neves, and I think this is more important in quarantine, like being in quarantine in a sudden situation like lockdowns and all. We never used to be like this, right? So entertaining or keeping us busy in those days are most important because being in depression in quarantine, because there is nothing to do in those days, right? So we should
Right.
how we should be busy, getting us busy, like meditation, exercise, some courses we can do online, we can learn something, right?
Sure, sir.
Hi, my name is Rotractor Atharva, and I think mental health is not considered as an health issue. It is considered like it is a taboo that it needs a proper treatment, but it is not considered in that way.
Excellent, Atharva.
Hello, this is Rotractor Snehal Borse. I think mental health is not only about the stress and depression. I think it is all about the conversation also. If you do not have anyone for the conversation, first talk to yourself. See what your thoughts are, and then try to analyze yourself what things you need to do it. And uh, this quarantine days and this lockdown days, you can make yourself busy, as Sudarshan also said. You can have meditation workshops, you can have yoga, you can have workout, you can have Zumba sessions, you have many YouTube videos, you can follow them also.
Hello, I'm Retractor Anushka Bachas, and I feel that on every stage of our life, we have stress, anxiety, depression, and as like everyone said, we should have a person with which like you can anytime call or share anything that you have in your mind, because I feel this topic, mental health, is a very major issue that people need to talk about. So yeah.
Hi guys, this is Road Tractor Saidas. I think we don't we don't understand the meaning of mental health. Like we always say that we should have someone to talk, or we should have someone to tell the things. But the thing is, you should have a stable mind, or you should develop your mind as in state, like uh, you can stay active in every situation. So basically, you should have a stable mind, and this is the mental health in just one word.
Yes, sir.
Agreed.
Great.
I have one point to say. If you want to be stable and you have to make your stable mind, then just accept yourself as you are. Then your mind will be stable.
Exactly.
That's the
That
biggest
that
thing that
perfectly
we
sums
can't
it up.
accept,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly, conclude.
that perfectly sums it up. So, talking about mental health in general, we can say that In India, it has been considered to be a taboo for a long time, as pointed out rightly. At the same time, lockdown kind of changed the perspective towards mental health in a lot of our minds. So, to all of you out here, is there anything that lockdown changed in the sense for your perspective towards mental health? Like, did you start looking at it as something important, or were you like inclined towards your mental health since a long time before the entire thing that's happening right now?
I found it useful because we can give some time to our family. We can learn some things without stressing ourselves. Because in past, like when lockdown was not there, we were very busy, right? In colleges and studies, our doing our own work, and now there is something to explore, and we can work in from our home too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
We can,
we work in the comforts of our home. I
yes,
believe
true,
that.
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I like
Actually,
to add, since lockdown started, I think we got our own time for sure. Like lot of time we can spend alone, like to enjoy things, to watch series, to watch web series, anything. Like
yeah.
these are the things that we didn't did before the lockdown. We were like college stuff and all. So lockdown gave us time to be happy or relaxed, and that's really important for our mental health, to be relaxed and be stable.
Also,
Yes.
so you talk about mental health keeping us relaxed and stable, but uh, we'll be later talking to a psychiatrist who also claimed on a call that mental health has been a major issue that's happening right now. So, how do you justify that?
Actually, before lockdown, 70 to 90%, as compared to 2016 National Health Mental Institute survey, 70 to 92% of the peoples in India are unable to get the treatments because we don't have enough mental professions or cares, right?
Yes, sir.
True.
And
Agreed,
as
agreed.
Nehal said before that to have a good mental health, you should have a stable mind. But due to this lockdown, the all the COVID thing has happened so suddenly that if if someone has planned something for himself, like a future plan that I'll do this course, then that, so all is disturbed. So there is
Very true.
no, so the stability just got changed and it's unexpected. So backup can help a bit, I guess.
It's important to have a backup plan for ourselves, like at
Yeah.
because you never know what will happen, and then suddenly we all are now like we want something better every day, which we cannot have right now.
Yes,
But
our
we
prince
weren't
and fancy is
aware of
scaled
those
up.
things.
And the
Yeah, we were.
surety of you, the job, the surety, the business, if you are running any will work after the lockdown, the things are not gonna be same. So it will affect mental health.
Yes, so, rightfully, just as our title states, the mental state, uh, we just wanted to have this small conversation in order to establish the idea that the mental state is going to change drastically after everything gets back to normal. So, how do you think should people cope up?
Patience. First and most important thing is patience.
Yeah.
You have already wasted 4.5 months in a lockdown. So
Yes,
it's okay. You should have some patience more, right?
I wouldn't call it wasted because a lot of people are procuring new
Yeah.
talents.
Yeah, everything
Even
has the two
artists.
sides, one good and one bad.
There
Yeah,
are
even
different
it,
groups,
yes,
like some guys
it,
have gained some knowledge and gained something, but
yeah,
some people have planned a lot of things.
yes. I
So
think it depends
this
on,
lockdown has big loss for them.
it depends on person to person actually. Like
Yeah,
some
it depends
people
on person to
do it
person.
for, yes. Some people have learned something, or some people have like slept for 4 months, just doing nothing.
It is
Uh,
all about our perspective.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
personally
positive
think that
thinking.
we should put
Yeah.
ourselves into things, learning new things. So there is a momentum we achieve. So the pace is, we are busy in somewhat other way, being it in home. So the momentum will help us to match up the pace after everything gets over. That's what I think.
Agreed, sir.
Agreed.
All right, so if everybody's done with the discussion, can we move forward?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
All right.
Sure.
So since all of us have been through a long term of lockdown, we thought let's lighten our moods because the topic is already way too serious. So we are planning to play a game called Would You Rather. It is a common internet sensation from the past. The format is simple. We'll ask you a question wherein you have to choose either one thing or the other. And we'll be expecting an instantaneous response from your end. Like, would you select the first option or the second option? And then one person from each side or each segment would be letting us know what was their thought process behind selecting the option. Is everyone fine with the rules?
Yes.
Yes.
And if one person speaks and the other person wants to add on to that, you are very much welcome to do that as well. So we hope all of you have fun through the segment. So just to start off, we'll be going with a very simple and easy question. So let's say, for instance, me and Sanika are asked a question. Would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go, or would you be able to drink free coffee at any coffee shop? Which one
Free
would you
coffee.
choose, Sanika?
I would surely go with the second one.
Choosing to drink free coffee at any coffee shop. And why would that be?
I would always prefer coffee over Wi-Fi. It's okay.
All right.
Including
So
caffeine in our body is very good. That might help
So like
us.
if I were to choose an option, I would choose Wi-Fi because for me, internet is the very basic crux of my life. I just live over internet throughout the day.
Okay,
So I don't think I can.
Phone goes off, like you're roaming around, right? So what if your phone just loses off battery? What would you do after this?
Now that's a different problem. For that, I could buy a power bank, but at least I won't have to pay
There
a
are terms and
hefty internet
conditions.
bill every month. Yeah,
You
there's
can't
terms
eat
and
Wi-Fi,
conditions.
right? You can't eat Wi-Fi. If you're hungry, you can't eat Wi-Fi.
Agreed. I won't argue on that. Now, what are your opinions on this question? That's what I wanted to know from everyone.
I'll go for Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Even I'll go for Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
See, I have
I'll
taken
go
up my
for
side,
coffee.
Kanika.
I'll go for
I'll
coffee.
go
any
for
day.
coffee.
I'll go
So what
for
are your
coffee.
reasons for it?
It might be a
Oh.
Starbucks coffee, right, Sanika?
That is old, right?
Yeah.
If you're in Airoli,
All right. So is
it's
everyone through the format of the game segment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Sanika will be presenting the very first question to all of you.
Yeah. So the first question for you guys is: lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
Lose the ability to speak.
Okay.
An A.
Lose the ability to speak.
Okay. Anybody for lose the ability to read?
Read.
Read.
Okay.
No.
Uh, action speaks louder than words.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
All right. So how many of you are for lose the ability to read?
One.
No one, I guess.
Oh. Does nobody want to choose to lose the ability to read? Because I would choose that, honestly.
Surely.
I cannot live without speaking.
I go crazy.
Yeah.
So
Habitual.
why would you want to lose the ability to speak and not read?
by reading you can gain knowledge, you can learn something, but if you can't read anything, what's the use of speaking? You're just
You
speaking
can use
blank.
social media, right? Like you can watch
You
videos,
have
Yeah,
a
you can
YouTube.
listen to
have much
podcasts.
fun.
But
have-
there
you
are
have
terms and
podcasts, yeah.
conditions. If you just take them specific stuff, then
Many times
Obviously,
They
obviously, we are
didn't
restricted by
mention the
terms
terms and conditions in that question.
Yeah, all right. Let's just assume that there's no terms and conditions, and we just go limitless. So, why would you want to lose the ability to speak?
They're just readers, I guess. They don't like to speak. Let's see.
बोलते समय हम काफी टाइम कुछ वो वर्ड बोल जाते हैं जो सामने वाले को नहीं पसंद आता है. You never know सामने वाले को कौन सा वर्ड क्या
Yeah.
पसंद है.
लेकिन
तो-
ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना कि सिर्फ रीड करके आप किसी को कुछ बता ही नहीं पाओगे या कुछ अपना शेयर ही नहीं कर पाओगे तो उसका यूज क्या है?
लिखना है
Write it and express.
I think in this generation, like we have like lot of technology and stuff. I don't think like speaking is not on the highest level. Like we can text or anything. So I think reading is important. If you gain knowledge, you can communicate from different like manners
And share
rather
your
than just.
knowledge.
Can I just change my answer?
Yes, you can.
I'll lose the ability to read
Okay, also
because now we are talking about the topic mental health, and it is like you need your emotions, let it out.
Yeah.
So I'll
Well,
rather
that's such a good cover for everything.
if like there are no terms and conditions, I would lose the ability to read because I cannot, keep my mouth shut even for an hour. So
I know.
Aniket, I want to ask you a question. What will be the
Yes.
terms and conditions if you wanted to give a terms and conditions in this question mainly?
Okay, if I had to give out terms and conditions, it would be that you lose the ability to read and you cannot learn to read.
Okay.
You can see, but you cannot learn to read. Like your brain does not accept reading. And if you lose the ability to speak, then there's no way you can speak or express your thoughts out. That would be the only terms and conditions I would put out.
That is bad.
Oh.
then I guess
All
everyone would lose the ability to read because
No,
you
there's no single answer. There's no single answer to this. All right. Moving on to the next question. Everybody listen carefully. Would you rather spend an year in jail or lose an year out of your life?
spend a year in jail.
Lose an year, man. Lose
B,
an
B.
year, maybe.
In jail.
For me,
It just goes for lose the year.
I will lose an ear.
All right.
Jail is
So
much
coming
better
on to
than
the first
losing a
part.
year.
Coming on to the first part, why would you want to spend an year in jail?
Experience, a new experience.
In jail.
Getting bitten by a
Exactly.
snake is a new experience.
Something is better than nothing.
Yeah, anything
Lockdown
is a
has
new
given us the best
Hanging out with
experience of
gangs.
jail.
Experience.
True.
True.
Sanika,
Very true.
agreed.
All right. And why would you want to lose an year out of your life if not in jail?
It depends at what age.
Okay.
yeah.
Your current age,
Yes.
I'll say.
If you are
half year
losing
already
2
wasted.
years, 3 years of your old age, then nobody cares.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's agreed.
Like, all right, let's say for instance, when you're in jail for a year, you get new experience, and when you're outside, you just lose a year out of your life. So, do you think the experience you might get in jail would overweigh losing an year out of your life?
Yes.
Yeah. Something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Get bitten by a snake is better than nothing.
All right, moving on to the next question, Sanika would present it to you.
The next question is: have the ability of knowing the history of an object you touch, or be able to talk to animals.
Talk to animals.
Okay.
We have a Rahat project, right?
That is for
Talking
treating
to
animals,
animals is
not
better.
talking to animals, right?
For me, actually, I'm not an animal lover, so definitely for me, the first option will be there.
Okay.
Okay.
For me, it will be second. For sure.
Second for me also.
The majority
Well,
is
why would you choose to know the history of any object you touch?
Because I'm not an animal lover, that is the reason I chose first option.
She's crossing the dogs and making down
the session is about mental health, right? And in today's world, there is no. We have to open up to someone, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So being open up with an animal is very much better than a person.
I'll
Trusting and
choose.
getting broken.
Yeah,
I'll
dog
choose
is a
to
man's best
communicate
friend.
with because I have dog phobia. So I'll just clear the stuff between me and the street dogs. So I can
Nice.
go.
Nice.
Nice way to end an argument, I'll say. Just talk it out. All right, would anyone else like to add on to this? All right, so we'll move on to the next question. Would you rather live your life as an average person in the present or live your life as a king 2000 years ago?
Second, man. Who will choose first?
Obviously,
What
second.
what do you
First one.
the first option? Can you-
First
Present.
option.
How?
Present.
It was like 2000 years ago. I mean,
Oh, wow.
आप सिर्फ
What do you
सोना
have
and
to do?
पैसा लेके क्या
All
मतलब
right.
है?
So before you guys lock down your choices, I would like to let you know that 2000 years the internet did not exist.
Oh,
Only gold and money. We have to
like
eat gold. We have
you
to
are
live with
getting
money.
treatment like king, man. You're not getting a treatment like
Still.
king right now.
Again, a new
Oh my
experience.
god.
again,
So
and
I
ट्रीटमेंट लाइक
I
किंग
see
बट
the
उतनी
struggle.
रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी रहती थी उनके ऊपर.
I
सेनापति
see the
काम करेंगे
struggle
यार
behind
उसमें
those
क्या है?
lines, you know.
like every question has a meaning in itself. Here,
yes.
And so
Saying
many
like
All right. So
things
who would choose to
choice.
live as an average person right now?
I.
I'll go for it.
Why would you guys do that?
Because you should appreciate the life we have
Present.
got. हाँ.
Exactly. I mean,
Exactly.
live at your present. You
Yeah.
know. Then
See?
Actually, there is no terms and conditions, right?
No.
So
No,
Anushka,
there is
explore yourself. Explore yourself. Come on.
And there are not much more responsibilities. So we have
Yes,
to enjoy.
very valid point. There's not a lot of responsibility for an average person except for their family.
Yeah.
yeah.
And why would the other guy want to live as a king?
I
The
think
tree-
like you should dream big. You should dream big. And,
Yeah, but when you
being
dream
like a
big,
king,
You're already a
Yeah.
king.
Being an
No.
average. Yeah. And
King of your own house.
oh yeah.
that's such a wise statement, king of your own house. But then imagine being a king of a place 2000 years ago, wherein there was slavery, there were different kings trying to conquer your land.
And,
Don't you think that
and
would be a lot of stress on your minds?
but there is no terms and conditions. So, like, if I am the king, I know what is going to happen.
Oh.
But you had a fear of
Yes,
every day, like,
yes.
no.
Oh,
Losing
You
your
never
life.
know. Yeah.
Who will come to war with you?
Yeah.
You
can
have a
lose your
fear in
kingdom anytime.
yourself.
Yeah, but
Like,
the
we
history
are
is
not
not
the
going to change.
I,
So,
only
I
one
believe,
right.
I believe
can figure out.
Atharva just
Arre, don't
assumed, I
confuse
believe Atharva
Atharva.
just assumed that he could go back in time and become a king.
Yeah,
So he know everything that happened.
Right.
And that's a really different perspective we did not even think about.
In perspective, you are talking about.
Like going back in time and just knowing what is happening in the future being a king.
You won't live for 2,500 years ago. Like,
So you
No,
want to be a
the
Doraemon?
question is, would you like to live as an average person or live as a king 2000 years ago? So he
Exactly.
can choose to become a king in the past now. So he'll know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Damn, that's good thinking. All right, over to
What's
Sanika for
your
the next
opinion?
question.
so
Aniket?
last,
Huh?
Yeah.
My opinion. All right.
Yes.
I would
Included,
choose to
right?
live in present. I would choose to live in
And why
present.
is
I have
that?
too many friends here to leave them.
Oh,
and the same goes to Sanika. What would you choose?
I would surely live right now. I don't want to become a king for sure. No.
any reason? Not being
I
a
am
king?
already a princess in my house. Why would
Oh,
I be a
Oh
king?
my
Oh.
god. Fifty Paris here.
right. Papa ki pari.
Not furry. Anyway.
Okay. Sanika, move on to the next question before you're
So the
insulted.
last question for today. Be crazy, rich and famous, but ridiculed, or be a middle class common man, but respected.
Respected.
Second.
Middle
Respect.
class
Yeah,
respected.
second.
Common man.
Anyone is there? Go
These
first.
are the guys who wanted to become the king.
Yeah, anyone who wanted to become a king.
Tejas.
Yeah, it's just different.
Because it's the same thing. You're crazy, rich and famous,
Respect is
but
important,
ridiculed.
man.
Exactly.
King is respected.
Arre, money can buy respect too.
Yeah,
Always.
that's a perfectly valid argument. Money can buy respect.
Hmm.
Money
Money
cannot
can buy whatever you
No,
want.
money cannot
And
buy.
being ridiculed,
money
being
can bring
ridiculed
fear,
and being
respect
Only in
also.
front of you. Money can buy respect
Yeah.
only in front of you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
even fear, respect is also
100%.
there. Some
yeah,
people
exactly.
just
But I can buy
being
a
afraid of
Rolls
you and
Royce
they'll
rather
respect
than
you.
sitting in a Maruti 800, right?
So
Yes.
taking down a Rolls Royce doesn't mean that people will respect you, right? Is it?
Some
But
of them will
then,
respect me,
I believe,
truly.
I believe,
If
I
they
believe
want
that
to sit in my
nobody
Rolls
This
Royce.
is your state of mind. You can find happiness any way you want, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and that is
Yeah,
ultimately
called
but
mental
So
health.
whether it's
you
Rolls Royce or Maruti 800.
Yeah, and that is called mental health.
it
I
is
am a
self
disorder of
satisfaction
that.
ultimately. Like you can say,
Yeah,
you have to
just an
change your own
example.
mind.
Just an example. Do you guys respect Mukesh Ambani or Anil Ambani right now?
Mukesh Ambani,
Whoever does.
Mukesh
respect plus
Ambani,
I don't
money.
actually.
think many people do. I don't think so. Like little bit of people who maybe respect him, but lot of
But they
people I don't think.
don't even care of respect and that.
Yeah,
They only care of
Yeah,
money,
why would they
their
care?
life. Yeah, why will
They
they?
have everything, right?
Hmm.
I mean, you're
That's
living a great life. Why would you even care about what other people think of you?
true.
Because
That
you
you
have
can
your
Aniket,
fear.
anytime, right?
hats off.
Why do you care
Hats off.
about people think about you anytime? Like,
Because
So,
anytime, even if you're the best person on this planet, say for instance you are a great saint, even then you'll have people who hate you and people who
right.
disrespect you.
right,
Correct.
right.
That comes
Exactly.
Yeah.
naturally.
And
Correct.
People will forget you after
There's
few years.
always a saying, you do 10 good things, nobody will remember. The one bad thing you will do and everybody will point it out.
Oh. Hmm.
I can completely agree to that. That happens a lot, even in real life.
So,
Anybody else who still want to change their opinions?
I would like to go for
Atharva.
the first option.
Wow.
Oh, to be crazy, rich,
Yes.
famous, but ready.
Because I feel in this world, people show their fake respects at a lot of point, and even if you do something good for a person, that person will forget you after a point of time, and that respect is all gone like suddenly.
Money is
So I
everything.
feel that why not to live happily and greatly with ourselves rather than gaining respect of someone else that don't even value you. So I feel first option would be
Even
better.
But
first option.
Wow.
being ridiculous, people won't be like coming to you for like any.
Doesn't
If
matter.
it doesn't
See,
matter
when
if you have
can't
money.
live
Matter.
Go
a
to
life
a private
alone
island.
for a long time, right?
Okay, I
like
can buy
when
a
I'm wasting
like
my time for someone else and then they show the fake respect and then they don't value me, so I feel I would like rather be ridiculous than being a good person
I
in
can
front of
hire a
them.
bouncers and make them our friends, everything, right?
But you are still
It's a
ridiculous to
what?
them
And
also.
money
Yeah,
is
yeah,
everything. If
I am.
They'll be good to
money
you.
and if you give someone like lot of money, they will come to you, I feel, because money is everything right now in this world. So I feel I would go for the first.
Money can gain you respect in front of your face, but not
Behind.
right.
the behind life, not when you're
Do you
not
know
present.
the name of that
Respect भी
guy?
आ जाएगा. Hmm?
वो इंस्टाग्राम का एक बंदा है
We
ना,
can earn the कौन?
इंस्टाग्राम
Dan
का एक बंदा
Bilzerian.
है बहुत.
ओ
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
हो हाँ
Dan
Dan
उसके कितने
Bilzerian.
फ्रेंड्स है?
Bilzerian. Oh.
है कोई?
उसके
सबको
दोस्त
खरीदता
आप
है.
वो सब
इसके
खरीदते
एक बार
हैं.
उसका प्रोफाइल देख लोगे, सबका ओपिनियन
All
चेंज हो
right,
जाएगा.
guys.
तो
जाएगा.
मुझे लगता है he is
I
happy.
believe we should. I believe
Let's
we should end this,
That's
Abhi. We've had a lot of discussion now on this question, and I believe सबका अपना अपना opinions रहेगा. No
Yes.
question had a one-sided answer, which clearly implies that all of us think different, all of us have different desires, all of us want different things. So with the entire activity, what we wanted to conclude was that everyone has different requirements. Everyone has a different mind process. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone does things differently. And hence, we cannot say that a mental health routine, just like medicine may, for your physical problems, say for instance, you have got a cold or cough, you have a medicine. But for mental health, there is no proper medicine because everyone is different. So what we wanted to clearly establish was the idea that how everyone is different and how mental health is important based on our thoughts. Because even a 2-minute thought, even if someone comes up to you in a day and says that you are the worst person on the planet, you're going to feel bad for the whole day. So now as we leave, I would just have one small target for all of you and everybody who's watching the podcast as well when we upload it. Just open your phone, send a text to one person who's close to you, and just tell them how grateful you are for being in their life. And I believe with that, we'll wrap up the session. Thank you so much, all my buddy road tractors, for being a part of this session. It was great to hear your thoughts and have an amazing day with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Aniket.
Thank you
you.
so much,
Thank you,
Aniket and
It was
Sanika.
such a
Sanika.
great
Bye.
session.
All right. Our guest for today is a PhD scholar and assistant professor in occupational therapy. Rotaract Club of Linktown, Airoli welcomes you, Dr. Sriharsh Jahagirdar. His areas of interest include neuropsychiatry and neurodevelopmental disorders like autism, ADHD, LD, and many more such community-based interventions. As of now, in the COVID scenario, he has been conducting relaxation programs for COVID warriors and frontliners. So to all the viewers, we'd like to welcome Dr. Sriharsh Jahagirdar.
Hi.
So before we begin with the interview, is there any memory of the relaxation programs that you would like to share that you're conducting right now?
So the whole idea started with seeing our own colleagues and our faculty members going through a lot more than the pandemic actually. Their personal and professional life was at stake. So we came up with this idea of relaxation program which lasted for a week, and then the whole roaring response that we got was overwhelming. One such incident which I remember is usually I take this stressometer at the end of the session, like how stressed were they just before they entered the session and after the whole session, and I could actually see the change in their breathing pattern, the facial expressions that before and after, irrespective of whether how they felt on the. I mean, definitely they felt better on the scale of stressometer, but I could actually see their face glow up, the eyes lit up, and so it was an amazing experience. And we are still working. We have to actually take a lot of things into consideration about sanitization, about safety precautions, that so that these activities would not cause any more spread of virus.
So that is really essential and a really great initiative that you're conducting right now. We'd like to thank you on behalf of the entire club and on behalf of everybody who is directly or indirectly impacted due to the entire scenario. So one question which we had, a lot of us discussed about this, that we have been facing physical stress, be it due to colleges, be it due to our jobs. So do you think that the stress which we were facing before and the mental stress that we are facing right now because of being locked down inside our homes, because of all the things that are happening in media, do you think that this current stress is more impactful than the stress we had earlier?
If you consider general phenomena of stress is change. So any kind of acute change that we experience in our life, maybe it be for short term or a long term ongoing one, it definitely has an impact on our well-being. So what is different about this is it's a pandemic. So most of us and around us are going through the same kind of stress. So we actually don't know where the support of us lies. So if we are stressed about our job in a particular scenario, so we know that which friend to approach and whom to seek help for. But in this situation, I think we are all going through the same mess, and hence this definitely is a first time experience that our generation is going through. And I think I always tell my colleagues who are being the frontline workers that you are already being an historian, so you are facing it and you are kind of being a part of this whole event. So yes, there is difference, but what remains the same is our reaction to any kind of stress. So may it be bodily reaction, may it be emotional reactions, those are not different. So any kind of change that is introduced acutely or which remains for a longer duration of time, maybe it be an illness, change of place, change of job, change of roles, maybe after marriage, divorces, the emotional impact and the physical impact, the reaction to the whole stress remains the same, though the stress keeps on changing in our life.
All right, so adding on to that same point, I would like to ask, you must have had patients before
you must have had people you're counseling before who were suffering through these acute problems of mental instability. Do you think their conditions have worsened right now because of the
Uh,
entire thing happening?
right now, since the place I work is a COVID only hospital, so we are actually not seeing patients other than COVID. So, but talking about patients who used to come before, yes, the impact of any kind of mental illness is same, isn't it? I mean, may it be before or
Yes,
may
sir.
it be now. Uh, but what we can see is since it's a pandemic, so with the people turning positive around, with the buildings getting locked down, with the people getting isolated, quarantined, every news channel flashing the number of increasing cases, I think it's in
Agreed.
the air. The stress and the kind of anxiety is in the air right now. So
I can
considering that,
definitely
I mean
agree.
the causative factor, if it was a change of life role before, the causative factor of most of the precipitating mental illnesses is the pandemic.
All right. I guess that pretty much summarizes everything that I wanted to ask for the first part. At the same time, do you think post the COVID scenario, when things start to get a bit normal, when things start to settle down a bit, do you see a heavy inflow of new patients who are more sensitive towards their mental health? Because this was not a very much discussed topic before the pandemic.
Yes, actually, we are already started getting a lot of reference or a lot of especially when we are working with residents, when we talk about their stress, there is a lot of stress that are going through. They have to go for exams, they have to quarantine themselves, go for duties, wear those PPs, uh, uh, be thirsty for a very longer duration of time. At the same time, those who are at home or working from home, for them confined to those walls in the house. Also, the elderly individuals who had some kind of recreation through their laughter clubs or evening walks or morning walks, they're all confined to their houses and the fear of being infected. So the sense of isolation and the sense of social cut down is the greatest impact that any kind of health scenario would have. Since we talk about health, it's not just the physical, but it's the social and emotional and spiritual well-being as well. So we consider that all the most of the areas of this what we call as health is affected. I think we expect a lot of surge in patients I've been facing a lot of psychological stressors or psychological impact of this whole lockdown and the pandemic at large. May it be an healthcare professional, may it be other professionals, may it be essential service workers, or may it be non-essential service workers. Everybody, I think there would be a great surge. The very basic fact that occupational therapy started during World War, like after the war, there were wounds more than the injuries that they actually suffered in the war. So most of the soldiers were down with depression. They had lost their roles and they didn't know what to do next. So is one occupational therapy had emerged. And I see the same scenario coming now with after this pandemic, after the lockdown. I mean, people do not know that what is the new normal. We do not know what lies a month later because we are overextending the lockdown. The cases are being though plateaued, they are increasing in certain areas. So we expect a lot of surge in mental stressors and issues related to mental illnesses post this lockdown and pandemic.
So, what things as a doctor did you take care of to avoid mental stress?
Oh, yeah. Personally, I am an art buff and I do not like to remain silent at times. I'm hyperactive myself. So most of the times what happens is cooking, cleaning, all that has come along with this pandemic. And since we are working, we do not want our mates to come in and there is a high risk of them to get infected if we are the carriers. So we are managing by all myself. I do a lot of artwork. So in this lockdown, I did a 2 or 3 workshops of art, which were online, and prep myself. And also now I'm conducting kind of wellness classes for my colleagues and my family members who are kind of going through stress through mandala art. So this is where I have sought my relief in to handle my own stress, doing a mandala becomes a kind of a stress buster for me. And definitely cooking and learning new things is always on the card.
So like you chose these things to cope up with your stress. There are others who choose like smoking or drinking to cope up with their stress. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so there are two kind of coping mechanisms. There are positive coping mechanisms and there is negative coping mechanisms. So yes, with the lockdown, we are getting the news of a lot of domestic violences, increase in substance abuses. At the same time, those who were addicted and because of the lockdown, they didn't have access to alcohol and other substances, were facing a lot of withdrawal challenges. So yes, there with the increasing number of stress and less idea about what to do and how to cope up, people might end up having negative coping strategies like a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, substance abuse, increased domestic violences. What we need to see here is supportive therapy. What we do is getting in touch with somebody who is supportive. May it be a healthcare professional, may it be mental health professional. So there are a lot of forums that are running online, on Instagram, on Facebook, who are doing a lot of voluntary services for those who are actually facing a lot of psychological stress. There are a lot of NGOs and clinics are holding this. So maybe people can seek help before it's too late. The obviously the end result of any of the substance abuse or any of the addictions is going to have repercussion on their productivity as well as physical and mental well-being. So it's going to be a vicious cycle. So the best part is to seek help at right time.
All right, so continuing with the idea of seeking help at current COVID scenario, but also what has been happening before and will be happening later as well. A lot of our colleagues, a lot of our friends suffer from depression and anxiety. And the problem with suffering from depression and anxiety is that it does not show on your face. Like you need not necessarily be a very sad person and portray sad vibes to show that you are depressed. A lot of my friends who have been through therapy have been ones who have been super joyous, super lovely, laughing, going around clubbing, partying. So how do we identify the point wherein they need to see a psychiatrist? And are there any barriers which we should are there any barriers which we should maintain?
Yes. So anything in excess or anything in deficit is an alarm. So if a person is partying excessively, has no personal life, or if the person has completely disjoined from the social scenario, so we call it as depression and pseudo depression, and we call it as silent depression. So how we get a silent MI, myocardial infarction, is something like silent depression which runs under our skin, and we actually cannot detect. A close associated or a close person who's associated with the person who's going through the stressor can always identify certain markers, like if the person is excessively talking about depressive ideas, the person is excessively talking about suicidal ideation, aloofing himself, or excessively helping others, excessively taking interest in social reforms or norms. That is a kind of point wherein you see that the person is going through some kind of a stressor which needs to be talked about, or which can be which can be dealt at an early onset. When we call about depression, there is difference between depressed mood and depression, clinical depression. So anything to be called as a clinical depression or a disease, it has to pass certain criteria of DSM. So we sometimes we casually say, "Aaj mere ko bahut low lag raha hai, I'm very depressed today." But if that remains consistently, and if you are not able to carry out your day-to-day activities as you were before, or things that used to be of pleasurable before and have not been in a recent time, is an idea that person must be going through something which needs to be tackled. Definitely lack of interest, lack of communication, or anything that is in excess which is hampering that person from achieving targets or completing their tasks, taking self-care like bathing, sleeping on time, in sleeplessness, getting on hook to any kind of passive media like Netflix, excessive movie watching, excess amount of addiction is a sign where the person is not coping positively with his mental stress and which needs a kind of attention.
All right, sir. And do you believe that there are some barriers which we should not cross? It generally happens that, say, a friend of mine seems to show some signs of mental instability, some signs of them being very depressed or suicidal. So, are there some barriers like not talking to their parents or not informing someone, which might have a negative effect on them?
In the sense, you helping him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to help him, but then there are some barriers which I cannot cross. So, do you
Right.
think those
So there
barriers
are
should be
always
crossed?
ethical issues involved. Yes, because most of the times what happens is when the person goes through such kind of symptoms, they lose their ability to take rational decisions. So in that situation, you may want to weigh whether and up. I think that certain times you can address this upfront and tell the person concerned that you perceive it that way. Okay, and also at same time, if the person is not very willing or not being very positive about you helping, just watch out. Just watch out for whatever signs possible and plunge in when it is dire needed. So
Agreed,
any
sir.
kind of maybe it is not help that we need to do. It is most of the times what is needed is empathy. So understanding that person is not going through a right time and giving him that space to cope up, and just assuring that you are around if need arises in any such situation. So continuing communication, continuing exchanging ideas, also keeping a silent check, a background check on that person. So would be a great idea, and also falls into an ethical jurisdiction. Only when there is a common consensus about, or if the person has confided in you, then you have a higher chances of plunging in more into the situation. Otherwise, there are ethical implications of bringing out an issue that you perceive might be of mental illness in front of any family members or other social group that the person belongs to.
So, what kind of medical support, like what kind of support can a medical management, other than like the doctors can support in other ways, irrespective of only the medical part, right? So, what do you suggest, or what do you think doctors are doing right
So,
now?
so most of the times, what we usually is there are most of the doctors or practicing medical practitioners definitely cure the disease at cure the symptoms at the face value. But what sometimes is lost is an importance of a psychotherapy or psychological support that goes a long way. So symptoms are like, for example, you have fever, so a doctor definitely gives you pills and the fever goes away. But at the same time, you need to improve your nutrition. You need to avoid certain food items to so that you recover fast. So apart from just medicines, like even in this situation of COVID, apart after you've been negative and if you have gone through 14 or 18 days of the disease, once you are actually out of danger and you are not able to pass on the disease to somebody, very important is the psychotherapy or the psychological support and getting back to the previous level of functioning. So that will be taken care by the psychologists, the therapists that work in mental health field, or there are the support groups that can help. For example, I run a support group for parents with children with autism who have some commonalities. We have a lot of every Sunday, even if it was a lockdown, we had an online sessions for past 3 months, and we are going to do online for next month, so that we do not lose on to any kind of markers that the parents are showing of breakdown, because it's been an extremely terrible situation. Like children with autism are confined to their homes and the parents are confined to their home and working from home and managing these kids, not going for therapy is going to is having a great impact. So So coming to your question again, apart from medical management, the psychotherapy and the psychological support, going through a counselor, going through a psychiatrist or a psychologist always is a good idea. If you think that you've been persistently not feeling well, not in the best of your mood, or there is some kind of anxiety which is running, it is always a good idea to seek professional help.
All right, so one question which I would like to add on to what you just said. Do you think casually visiting a psychiatrist or a psychologist is a good habit in general? Just like we visit our doctors for casual checkups.
Of course, because the impact of any kind of mental illness is more or similar to that of physical illness. So if people are ready, we always tell that if God forbid, like most of the times, what happens is parents do not detect signs of distress in their children, and they come in very late age. So we usually make an analogy. If God forbidden, if there was any kind of infective disease like tuberculosis, which required 6 months of extensive treatment, wouldn't you have gone for? So similarly, the whole idea of having a mental illness leads to a detrimental effect on your overall development, your social development, your psychological development, your emotional development. So it is always a good idea or healthy idea to seek a professional help, may it be psychiatrist, may it be a psychologist at a starting point. But yes, when you are not in your best frame of mind and your thoughts are not being rational, you must seek help.
So, are there any certain tips like that you would like to tell to our audience about maximizing mental health or keeping our mental health calm during stress?
Yeah. The most important part of it is physical health. Yes, exercising. So aerobic exercises and any kind of formal exercises and keeping yourself physically fit is one idea for your mental illness. So your physical health also determines mental health and vice versa. So engaging yourself into some kind of active physical activities, maintaining a routine. Especially what happens is in our hectic day schedule, we usually tend to overwork or overdo, or so work throughout the week and just laze throughout the weekend. So that kind of activities leads to a lot of circadian cycle or the rhythm to go haywire. So what is most important is having a routine, having set a routine or to-do list which is manageable. Too many things or too less things on the plate is always stressful. So even stress and no stress is stressful, as we say. So being occupied is very essential. So as an occupational therapist, we always believe in using occupation as ends and means. By that, what I mean is using whatever is pleasurable to us, whatever is meaningful to us, and whatever gives us the role in the society, all keeps our mental health at ease. Okay, so for example, when we did this relaxation program, our tagline was, as you take on the battle as warriors, we take care of your weapons. So by that, what we meant actually is, I know what you are doing in ward is good, but at the same time, you need to be fine here so that you can deliver much better than before. So considering that it is okay to be not okay at times, and getting back to the daily cycle as early as possible is very essential. Maintaining a routine, as I said, is very essential. And personally and and professionally, what I believe is having a hobby, a leisure pursuit, is always the best way to combat stressor. If you harbor a hobby, like I have a keen for art and learning new art forms, so that keeps me going. Because imagine, like throughout the day, you are listening to so many negative, like this one turned positive, that was in the middle phase of this lockdown, every other person that we used to hear was turning positive. In that times, caring about your own self and tackling to others situation was a challenging task. So what helped is an hobby and the dire need to maintain your daily routine is very important, and having a good social support. um, it is not that sukh ke sab saathi dukh mein na koi. So whenever you are low, you need to approach, you need to talk it out. So I mean, and making that safe environment is very important. Like the family that you stay in, you need to make the environment more conducive, so that you are emotionally accepted, not just for your role of an earner of the family or a son of the family or daughter of the family. You are accepted for your emotional being. So being opening up channels for communication is one more way in which you can actually combat your stress. Also, joining support groups is a lot helpful. So joining some kind of support groups is always good, so that you understand other perspectives, you learn from the others experiences, and most importantly, keeping away from thoughts that provoke your mental instability. For example, looking at law every day religiously, looking at number of positive cases, number of deaths, you need to keep away. If you are not able to handle, you must tell yourself that I must keep myself away. The only thing that you can do is safety. You have to remain yourself safe, so that you do not catch up the disease and you do not have to undergo the whole stressor. I think more than the pandemic, what people are facing is a social stigma that has come with the pandemic, of the lockdown, the quarantine, the isolation, the building getting containment zone, where we will get admitted and what we will do after we are. The whole idea is really very distressing. So there are helplines, and believe me that all the helplines have amazing counselors. They counsel you and make you at ease. All the hospitals are well equipped. The food and all the donors, eminent donors, pour in a lot of care in these private as well as public hospitals. So they need to seek just right amount of information that keeps you educated, but not over analyzing and not being reading into each and every information and applying it to yourself. That is very important.
All right, so that was loads of knowledge to put inside our brains. First off, I'd like to thank you for this entire session. We were genuinely happy to have you available on such a immediate basis. At the same time, the entire situation that we're going through right now, everything that's happening, be it media trying to just tell things out as if it's a very big issue, at the same time undermining the real issues that are happening, all the impact that has happened because of the people we follow, how media turns it around, war, and everything that media has basically portrayed on television, how it has literally impacted all our lives in a sense, because everyone is in a state of panic, everyone is in a state of unrest. So through this podcast, our motive was to ensure that people get to seek out, people get help when they need to, because a lot of people don't have the good right amount of friends, the right number of people they can trust. So for them, is there a way to contact you?
Definitely, they can anytime contact the department or seek occupational therapy services at our hospital. And on a personal level also, yeah, we can go a mile away in such kind of situations, so they can avail through our personal mobile numbers, or there are helpline numbers which are available. I am an assistant professor at Nair Hospital, so they can definitely contact us there and seek for any kind of help. And there are always these helpline numbers which are always 24 hours viable for reach.
So that is one part of entire thing that's happening around us. On the other part, before we end this session, I wanted to know, what do you think will happen when things get normal and eventually everyone starts to realize what they've been through and what they'll be going through? And do you think your entire field would be able to contribute to it in a way that it needs the support?
Coming to the first part of the question, when it all ends. Well, that answer is a mystery, but it will surely end in a while or ago, because it has ended in the previous eras also, the H1N1, the smallpox, everything that has been upsurged, the science has advanced and it will come to an halt. What after that? What actually the positive aspect that the pandemic has taught us is to be more cautious, not to take health as any kind of health as a sheer pass of time. you need to be more vigilant. And basically, etiquettes, the respiratory etiquette, the cleanliness etiquettes, we must make it a part of our life now. Also, as we all see that now people are getting married with less number of people are spending less on their luxury, and people are actually learning a lot and developing good bonding with their family members. So at the end of the pandemic, definitely we grow as human beings. We become more empathic. The whole idea is not to circulate the panic, but to be more vigilant about things that are happening. So maybe there might be a second wave that might come, or no wave that will come, and it will be just a plateau. We all don't know till the vaccine comes, and every day the medical science is progressing. Now we know the mode of transmission from it is less of surfaces and more in air, so we need to avoid closed spaces. And I think this should become a part of our life. Using protective mask, or using, maintaining social distancing, maintaining respiratory hygiene, avoiding spitting on roads, avoiding, big gatherings without any reason. I think we need to change our lifestyle a little, modify our lifestyle a little. That does not mean that we need to change the meaning of happiness. We only need to see the happiness in the different context. And coming to the second part, are we ready? Considering as an occupational therapist or a mental health professional, there are very few in number. So yes, we are working up towards, and we do not know whether this year there will be new students, those will be admitted or no, because all the exams currently are halted and we do not know when they happen. But yes, in whatever given scenario, we are coming up with the ideas, we are coming up with the programs that will help not just individually but en masse to go through this kind of situation. Yeah, for learning from the history and applying the science of today, I think we will fix it.
That is amazing to hear, sir. We will be really keen to know what happens in the future, not just from the perspective of mental therapy, but also from the perspective of your field, occupational therapy, directly, and what programs you conduct. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. Thank you so much for being with us. We could not have asked for any better advice. We could not have asked for anything else. If there's any concerns regarding the entire situation happening, we'll surely ensure to contact you. As far as the club is concerned, Rotaract Club of Linktown Airoli, thank you for being a part of this podcast. We are extremely thankful of you to be present at the situation. Thank you so much, sir.
I thank you all as well, and it is a great initiative. And I think if you are being sensitive, if the youth of the community is sensitive, I think we'll go a long way too. And I wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's really great to have a conversation with you. Thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.